Let's say a big hello to Henry Smith, Conservative Member of Parliament for Crawley. Thank you for joining us. Let's do it with a big picture first, Henry. I mean, this constituency was a Labour seat from 97 to 2010 when you won it. Local politics here with the Borough Council. I think Labour have a majority of 1 at the moment. So this is very much an important swing seat. How Crawley goes at the next election may well determine who gets the majority in Parliament. How confident are you, as you look ahead to the next election, for keeping this seat?
Well, you're absolutely right. In America, they would call this a bellwether seat. It always has gone with whoever's gone to form the government of the day, and the polls aren't looking good at all. And I think a lot of the 80-seat majority
I'm trying
to be diplomatic, Nigel. A lot of the 80-seat majority that was won just 3 years ago, frankly, has been squandered. So much more could have been done. Of course, we've had the COVID pandemic, but nevertheless, I think there have been a lot of opportunities that have been missed. And so it's little wonder that, given everything that's happened, particularly in the last year, the polls are showing what they are. So, no, it's not looking good at the moment. But I also think you need to look at the alternative. And there's nothing that Keir Starmer is saying, or he's not saying anything really in terms of policies, or let alone then how to spend money, taxpayers' money on whatever those policies are. So, yes, the government does need to be accountable after 12 years in office. But also questions need to be asked about what is the alternative on those key issues.
Well, from what we know, I mean, frankly, I can't spot the difference. I mean, in terms of your party has become anti-small business, pro-big government, and putting our taxes up to levels that, I mean, those that are working are paying more and more tax for a larger number of people who are choosing not to work.
Well, there was a statistic out, I think it was yesterday, that showed that there are fewer people paying in that are taking out from the system, and obviously that isn't sustainable. You know, my political instincts are for lower taxation. I think if you tax people less, you create economic growth, you create more jobs, and therefore you create more wealth and, ironically, more tax take. Surprise, surprise. So I'm not happy with the level of taxation that we have in this country at this moment in time. You're right that...
You'd better give your Chancellor a good kicking then, hadn't you, really?
I'm all in favour of giving Jeremy Hunt a good kicking.
Well, there we are. Well, there we are. You're going to regret coming on this programme.
That's my job on behalf of these good people.
A final big policy thought. What happens in Dover impacts everywhere around the country, including Crawley. You've seen migrant hotels in Crawley. People are not happy about it. They see it as being grossly unfair. Do you, in your heart of hearts, think Rishi Sunak is going to stop the boats?
Well, now you're in the business of understatements, because people are more than not happy about the situation. People are furious about the situation, and rightly so. A nation should be able to defend its own borders, and we can't have people coming into this country unchecked, 40,000 last year.
I know.
It's not sustainable. And part of the problem is, yes, enforcement, but the big problem is the system we have. A lot of that is the European Court of Human Rights, where activist lawyers...
Should we leave it?
If we don't leave it, we should certainly carve out sections which apply to immigration.
And back to my question, is Rishi going to stop the boats?
He's got this plan that he announced at the beginning of the year to stop the boats. We've got the military now patrolling the beaches. But the point is if the law is used to say that those people entering this country illegally can play the system and can get involved in appeal after appeal, then the situation won't be solved, and therefore it does need legal...
I know, Henry, I know. I don't disagree with your sentiments. Thank you for coming on. We're going to get you back in a few minutes to talk about Gatwick. Henry Smith, thank you for joining us.